Hello students, welcome you all in this video where we are going to solve 3-mark question from section B chemistry. As we all know already, we have started solving the sample question paper of CBSE class 10 2025-26 and section A biology is already completed. I have uploaded the video on my channel. You can go through my channel, watch my videos. If you're not still subscribed my channel, please consider subscribing the channel so that you will get the notification of uploaded videos. Now in this video we are going to start with 3-mark question of section B chemistry. Let's start with the question. So in this 3-mark question, first one is question number 26. Attempt either option A or B. So in this question we have an internal choice. Here we are going to start with A and on the next page we are going to start with B. Whenever such type of question comes, remember you have to attempt any one, either A or B, and how to choose which question to be solved. That is, you have to read the question, try to understand the question and think that which question you can solve completely and correctly. Whichever question you are confident that you will solve completely and correctly, that question only you have to attempt. After solving A question, then again you cannot attempt B question. Any one question you have to attempt. So now here I am going to solve A first. An element X is stored in kerosene. So see here there is the element X which is going to be stored in kerosene and cannot be extracted from its ore using reducing agent. X forms an ionic compound on reaction with chlorine. So this is the question. This is the statement which is given, and based on this statement now we are going to have the question. So here question number 1 is, can we store X in water? Give reason to support your answer. So first we have to find out what is X, and then we have to think, can we store that X, that element in water? If yes or if no, you have to give the reason for your answer. So the answer is no. You cannot store this element X in water. Element X cannot be stored in water. So what is that X? X is nothing but an element called sodium. This is an element called sodium. So what is the reason? It is highly reactive. So you maybe have seen the electrochemical series, the series in which all the elements are arranged in the decreasing order of reactivity. So if you see there, sodium and potassium comes on the top of the series. So here sodium will be more reactive or highly reactive and reacts violently with water. So as I told, sodium is highly reactive. When it is added in water, it reacts violently, producing heat and hydrogen gas. So it produces heat as well as formation of hydrogen gas, which may catch fire. So it can also catch fire. Hence, it is stored in kerosene to prevent contact with air and water. So this is the reason for question number 1. Now question 2, identify element X, name the process used and write the equation for the extraction of X from its ore. So what is the element? Just now I told the element is X is sodium. The symbol is Na. And the process used for extraction of the sodium is electrolysis. So here the sodium cannot be extracted by using reducing agent, and the reason for this again same, because it is highly reactive. You cannot add any chemicals to extract the sodium, because when you add any chemicals like reducing agent, because of its reactivity it immediately react with the chemicals and it forms something else. And to avoid that, here we are going to use electrolysis process. What is electrolysis process? In this we are going to supply electric current and we are going to break the ore. Lysis means breaking. By supplying the electric current, we are going to break the ore and we are going to separate our sodium. So the process is electrolysis. And the reason for this is sodium is very reactive, cannot be extracted by using reducing agent. And what is the reaction for this? So this is our ore, that is sodium chloride, NaCl. When you add electric current, NaCl will get break and Cl will separate and Na will separate. So this is the Na is nothing but what? The sodium which you want to separate, and Cl2 it is the byproduct which you are getting here. So in this electrolysis process, we are going to use electrodes. Electrodes nothing but are the metals which conduct electricity in solid state. So in one of the electrode, Cl2 gas will be formed, that is chlorine gas will be formed, and this again you can use for some other chemicals preparation. So this is the answer for question number 26. Now after this we are going to see the next, that is choice, which we have question B. So now we are going to see the OR option from this, which is also going to carry 3-mark question. So the statement given in question B is, the domes of many buildings in Europe are made of copper. So see the sentence. The domes of many buildings in Europe are made up of copper. These domes now appears greenish in color. So this is the statement given, and based on this statement we have 3 questions. Question 1. Why do the domes appear greenish through copper? Greenish, though copper is orange red in color. So what is the color of copper? Copper color is orange red in color, but these domes appears greenish in color. So why? What is the reason that we have to answer? So the answer is, domes appear greenish because copper react with moist air. So copper, it is the metal which can react with the moisture or the gases present in the moisture to undergo corrosion. So these domes appear greenish because copper reacts with moist air, means which consists of oxygen, carbon dioxide, water vapors, to form green layer of basic copper carbonate. So this copper, when reacts with this all moisture, copper convert into copper carbonate. CuCO3 is nothing but copper carbonate, and this copper carbonate color is greenish in color. That is nothing but copper is undergoing corrosion to form copper carbonate, and because of this domes you can see greenish in color. Question number 2 is, in your opinion, should the copper domes be replaced by iron dome to overcome the problem of change of color of copper domes? So question number 2 is, if the copper domes are changing the color to greenish, then should we replace that copper with iron? Actually the answer is no, because even iron undergoes corrosion. So no, copper domes should not be replaced by iron domes. Iron rust easily. Now if you compare the corrosion power of copper and iron is very much reactive towards the moisture or the air. So if you compare the rate of corrosion of copper and iron, the rate of corrosion in case of iron is very high, and it rusts easily in presence of air and moisture, which weakens the structure. The structure of the dome gets weakened. It becomes weak. The green coating of copper actually protects it from the further corrosion, whereas rusting of iron causes continuous damage. This is very important sentence you have to remember. So let me explain this with the diagram. Imagine this is one metal piece and it is made up of iron, and this is another metal piece, it is made up of copper. Now when these both the metals comes in contact with the moisture, now what happens? Both are susceptible towards the moisture and both can undergo corrosion. So now what happens? When iron undergoes corrosion with this moisture, say oxygen gas from the moisture, so Fe react with the moisture and forms Fe2O3, iron oxide, brown color powder. And that brown color powder which is going to be formed, this will not remain attached on this metal piece. It will not remain attached like this on the metal piece. It will fall down immediately. After the formation of this iron oxide powder, that all iron oxide powder will fall down here. It will not remain attached to the iron piece. And due to this, what happens? Once the first layer of the iron undergoes corrosion, then that will fall down as iron oxide. Then the second layer of iron atoms will undergoes corrosion, that will fall down as iron oxide. Then the third undergoes corrosion, and like this corrosion will be continuous in case of iron. So it will destroy all iron metal. But in case of copper, if this is the first layer of copper atoms in this plate, and when this reacts with the moisture, that is oxygen, this will form copper carbonate, CuCO3. And whatever copper carbonate will be formed, that layer will remain attached on the plate itself. it will cover this copper plate, the copper carbonate which has been formed, it will cover this copper plate. It will not fall down. Remember, as in iron oxide, the powder is falling down. It will not fall down in case of copper. So due to this, what happens? Because of this blue color carbonate, so here this is the blue color is the copper carbonate. Because of this blue color copper carbonate, the copper which is present inside the second layer of the copper atom will not come in contact with the oxygen, and the further corrosion is avoided. So here remember, in case of copper, this further corrosion rate will be avoided. So we should not replace iron in place of copper just because of the greenish color. So this is the answer or the explanation for question 2. Now question 3 is, domes used to be made from thin sheet of metals. Why did the ancient architects use copper to make domes? So now, answer is, ancient architect used copper because it is highly malleable. So it can be beaten into thin sheets. If you want to prepare a dome, then it should be very thin. It should be made up of a thin sheet. And to prepare thin sheet, any metal, what you have to do? You have to take a metal and you have to heat it. You have to heat the metal. And after heating this, when the metal will get soft, you have to beat this metal, and by beating you have to convert these metals into thin sheets, and this property is called as malleability. And copper is highly malleable, it can be easily converted into thin sheets by beating. Therefore this is the one of the important property copper is used to prepare domes. Second is resistant to corrosion, making it long lasting. So compared to iron, corrosion has the resistance, copper has the resistance to corrosion. As I told, if copper is undergoing corrosion, the outer layer will form this greenish color CuCO3, copper carbonate, but it will remain attached on the copper. Therefore further corrosion will be avoided and it will remain long lasting. So that is the next property reason. Third one is strong, durable, suitable for large structures like domes. So it is very strong metal, it is a durable, and it is suitable for large structures like domes. So these are the properties because of which ancient architects use copper to make domes. So this is the answer for question B. So question A is finished, question B is finished, whichever you feel easy that you have to attempt in the exam if such type of question comes. After this, we are going to move with the next question. So the next is question number 27. This also carries 3 marks. So we will read the question. Amrita electrolyzed distilled water using the setup shown in figure 1. So this is the figure 1 which is here, and by using this setup, Amrita has electrolyzed distilled water. Electrolyzed means by using electric current she has braked distilled water. What is the meaning of distilled water? The water which has very less amount of salts, negligible, which can be neglected, that is very less amount of salt, it is called as distilled water. She was expecting two gases to be evolved at the anode and cathode respectively. So when she did this electrolysis by using distilled water, she thought that she is going to get two gases, one at the anode and one at the cathode. Suddenly she realized that the bulb in the circuit did not glow when she used distilled water. So when she started the experiment, she realized that the bulb which is connected into the electric circuit, you can see in the figure 2, electric circuit, it is not at all glowing. If this bulb is not glowing, the meaning is what? Your circuit is not complete. The current is not moving in the circuit. That is the meaning if the bulb is not glowing. And when she started the experiment, she realized the bulb is not glowing. After this realization, she added substance to the distilled water for electrolysis to take place. So once she realized that if the circuit is not complete, bulb is not glowing, electric current is not moving in the circuit, she added some substance to the distilled water. And due to that substance, then the bulb started glowing when she started the switch. Answer the following question based on the information. So by using this all the information, you have to answer the questions. So here we can see question number A. Which gas was she expecting to be formed at the anode and which one at the cathode respectively? So as the first sentence, she has used distilled water here, and by using distilled water, she is doing electrolysis. Distilled water, water means what? It is H2O. Water means it is H2O. And she is using this water and doing electrolysis. She is applying the current and breaking the compound. So once she supply the electric current, this water will get break. And once the water will get break, you are going to get two elements, hydrogen and oxygen. So hydrogen, H will combine to give hydrogen gas, and OO will combine to give oxygen gas. So she can expect hydrogen gas and oxygen gas to the form towards the electrodes. Now, which gas will form towards the anode and which gas will form? So here, oxygen gas will be formed towards the anode, and hydrogen gas will be formed towards the cathode, because oxygen, we know, it is giving ion O minus 2 when water will break. O minus 2, it is a negative ion. Negative ion will be attracted towards the positive electrode. Therefore, towards anode, we get oxygen gas. And what is hydrogen ion? H plus. It is a positive ion which is attracted towards the negative electrode. Therefore, hydrogen gas will be formed towards the cathode. So, this electrode is shown by negative sign. This electrode is shown by positive sign. So, I hope you remember. The opposite charges will get attracted. Therefore, once the water is broken, it gives oxygen and hydrogen ions, O minus to H plus. So H plus will go to cathode, O minus 2 will go towards anode, and there hydrogen and oxygen gas will be formed. So this is the answer for question A. Now question B. Why did the bulb not glow when Amrita passed electricity through distilled water? Very simple. As I told, when she used distilled water, the bulb was not glowing. What is the reason for this? That you have to explain. The bulb did not glow because distilled water is very poor conductor of electricity, because it don't have any salts in it. Salts are not there means there will be no positive and no negative ions. If no ions in the water, then nobody will be there to pass the current, and therefore distilled water is a poor conductor of electricity. It contains almost no ions, so electric current cannot pass through it effectively, and therefore bulb not glow when Amrita passed electricity through distilled water. Then question C, which substance was added by Amrita to distill water to get expected result? So as I told, it don't have any substance to form ions. If you add any substance which gives ions, then the water can conduct electricity. And you know the ionic compound, that is salts. If you add any salts into the water, once you supply the electricity, salts will split into positive and a negative ion, that is cation and anion. For example, if you add NaCl, salt, sodium chloride, it will split into positive Na plus ion and negative Cl minus ion. And these negative and positive ions are responsible to pass the electric current, and therefore the answer is salt. So here, even you can add here, you have to add some one few drops of sulfuric acid to form this reaction faster, to increase the rate of the reaction. So see here answer, Amrita added an electrolyte. Electrolyte is nothing but salts, typically a few drops of dilute sulfuric acid to the distilled water, so that ions present in the present and electrolysis takes place. So here you can add electrolytes such as dilute sulfuric acid. This is also one of the electrolyte. You can add any other salts also into the water, which forms ions, and these ions are responsible to pass the electricity. So this is the answer for question C. So here we have completed question A, B and C, which is asked in question number 27. So each question carries 1 mark. So total marks we are going to get from this question, it is 3. So whenever you solve such type of question, these figures will be given to you. You have to focus on the figures. You have to see the sentences, statement which are given, and match these both, relate these both, these statements and the diagrams, and then try to answer the questions. Remember, whenever such type of question comes, your whole answers will be there in the statement itself. Just find out those answers and write down for these questions. So here we have completed all 3-mark question from part B chemistry. After this we are going to start with 4-mark question. I hope you are understanding all the answers and explanation of this question. You can see my videos and like my videos, share my videos with your friends, and still if you are not subscribed my channel, please consider subscribing my channel.